Father, Son, Spirit, come on.
For the wages of sin is death, the gift of God's eternal life is one thing I'm certain about. There will be no reduction in the wages of sin. It's good for us to be here again. God has blessed us in a marvelous way this week. God has protected us, put his arm of protection around us, and held us in the heart of his hand. There are so many things happening all around us. But the God we serve has been good to us. He blessed us, watched over us, kept us safe from all hurt, harm, and danger. And I'm grateful to be here again on another first Sunday. Amen. Never dreamed that this would be the sixth Sunday that we haven't had service. Never dreamed of that day. But God has been good to us. And we're carrying on in the name of the Lord. And certainly, as I said, we're grateful for this first Sunday, the first Sunday in May. Thank God that he's allowed us to see a day that we've never seen before. He allowed us the privilege to see a day that we never dreamed we would see. And I'm grateful to him. And I just want to talk to you only for a few moments today. With words of inspiration on this first Sunday. And here in Isaiah chapter 55, verse 8 and 9, it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than yours, and my thoughts than your thoughts." I just want to share with you on for a moment from this subject, when God doesn't make sense.
Okay.
When God doesn't make sense. I dare to say that most of you like to visit with, talk with, and associate with people who make sense. Few things can be more frustrating and confusing and bewildering or more perplexing as trying to listen to somebody who doesn't make sense about what they're telling you. Sometimes you listen to folk and they have a tendency as we would old folks say, stretch the truth. They tell you of something they have done, and you know they couldn't have done it. They tell you about some places that they've gone, and you know they didn't go. Or having seen some things, you know they never saw. Or having things you know they never possessed. Or being something you know they are. When folk are telling you something that just doesn't seem to make sense, you really feel like you're wasting your time listening to them. And yet, there are times when it seems that God, that great God, our great God, the same God who created the universe, the same God who cut out the sea with the palm of his hand, the same God who sculpted the mountain, the same God who ignited the flame of the sun, the same God who rotates the earth on his axis, the same God, the sun, the stars, in the silver socket, and that same God who paints the beauty of the sunrise and sunset. Yes, there are times when he just doesn't seem to make sense. And I guess that's why some of you have a difficulty believing in him, because what he's saying just doesn't seem to make sense. Yes, I'm sure Noah could testify and say he doesn't make sense. Can you imagine Noah's children, friends laughing at him, saying your daddy is crazy? Why is he building an ark and it ain't no rain? I don't see any clouds in the sky. Can you imagine it didn't make sense? When God told him to build that ark, and it had never rained. And then if you built it, it was no place for it to flow. Yes, it didn't make sense to Abraham when God told him that his seed would be as the stars above and the sand below. Especially at that time when he never even had one child. It doesn't make sense that all of this is going to happen to me, and I don't even have an offspring. Yes? Can you imagine? It did not make sense to Moses. When Moses and the children of Israel got to the Red Sea, Moses was in turmoil. He was praying to God because the folk behind him was complaining, said, better for us to have stayed in Egypt. At least we had a place to stay, we had food to eat, and now you brought us to a Red Sea. It just don't make sense. And when God spoke to him and said, wait a minute, haven't I been with you? He said, yes, sir. He said, Moses, what do you have in your hand? He said, I got the same rod. Stretch it out.
Amen.
When he stretched it out, the rivers, the sea parted, and made a way of escape for the children of Israel. Didn't make sense. Didn't look like it was going to happen. That happens to all of us in our lives. At some point, things just don't make sense. But God makes sense out of everything. Can you imagine Joshua, could you imagine? Here, a man. God told him, just simply march around the walls of Jericho for 7 days, and the city would be defeated. Can you imagine a man, all he's supposed to do is just march around 7 times, and then on the 7th day, he was supposed to march around 7 times and the walls were going to come tumbling down. It didn't make sense. Walls that had been built out of mud and clay and brick. Well, all you had to do is march around. Didn't make sense. A whole lot of things God tells us to do, it really don't make sense. But when God doesn't make sense, can you imagine it didn't make sense? When God told Gideon, say, Gideon, I got something for you to do. But he looked around. Gideon started out with 32,000 men. Can you imagine? He was going to war against the Midianites. And he couldn't understand. God said, wait a minute. You got too many. Does that make sense that you going to war? You need everybody that you got on hand because some going to perish in the war. But God said, you got too many. He kept on whittling them down. Kept on whittling them down. And y'all, he looked around and said, wait a minute. I started out with 32,000. Now I'm down to 300. This don't make sense. But didn't God bring him out? God will bring you out when you feel like it don't make sense. God can use things to bring you to your knees that don't seem to make sense to you. Can you imagine? It don't make sense. Did it make sense to you that Elijah told them after the prophets of Baal couldn't get the job done? Elijah told them, say, now, you know yourself, that's why when you have firemen and fire, they use water. Can you imagine? Here is a man that God told him what to do, told him to water the sacrifice down. And not only just water it down, I want y'all to make sure you got trenches so the trenches full up with water. I want the sacrifice soaking wet. Now, since water puts out fire, how in the world is he going to burn up a sacrifice? Sacrifice water trenches. All around, trenches were full of water. It don't make sense. No, it don't. But God told him to start praying. Pray until fire fell from heaven, consumed the sacrifice, and dried up all the water.
Amen.
It didn't make sense. But God is able to make sense out of the senseless. Not only that, I'm sure, very sure, to Mary when he spoke to her and told her that you're going to have a child. And especially when she never knew a man. Now I want to give all you biblical scholars just a little information. If you read the scripture, it says that they were espoused. You know what that means in biblical terms? They were already married. But they hadn't consummated the marriage. They had to go through some things before they could consummate the marriage. And during that point, that's when God spoke to her. While they were espoused. That's why some people said, put her away privately. Had not they been married, they wouldn't say put her away privately. You don't want nobody to know it because they were espoused. They're already married. But just hadn't consummated the marriage. Did that make sense to you? The marriage wasn't consummated, and yet you telling the woman she gonna be with child. It does not make sense. A lot of things don't make sense. But with God, all things are possible. I guess that when Jesus went to the wedding, his mother, they said the wine is run out. And they said, what we going to do? The wedding is going on. The wine is run out. Now, it don't make sense. You know, anybody know anything about wine making? No, you got to get the grapes. You got to press the grapes out. You got to let them ferment over a period of time, and then ultimately you'll have some wine. But look what doesn't make sense. That all Jesus told them to do was get the water pots. And they got the water pots, and he just prayed the prayer of faith. Didn't make sense. But ultimately, they had wine. And somebody said, wait a minute now. I know I'm a little drunk, but I ain't that drunk. I know good from bad. Why in the world that when you serve the good wine at the end, you ought to serve the good wine first? And serve when we're well drunk and serve us this pasta. It didn't make sense. But Jesus turned water into wine. Got the clothes here. Can you imagine? They talk about we in the pandemic. People don't have food to eat. They're struggling to find food. You go to the grocery store. You got to stand in the line and come in 6 feet apart. And only so many come in the store at a time.
Amen.
But I heard that Jesus told his disciples, these folk have been standing around, some of them hungry. And they simply said to him, Lord, we don't have enough to feed all these people. Why don't you send them away and let them go home? It did not make sense for Jesus to try to feed all of those folks that are around. Jesus simply said, I want you to search the crowd. And when he searched the crowd, there was a little lad that had only 5 slices of bread and 2 little fish. Didn't make sense, but Jesus prayed over that little boy's lunch. When he prayed over that little lunch, they said they sat down. And when they recognized it, they say 5,000 men ate, beside the women and children. It don't make sense, but God can do anything but fail. Didn't make sense when Peter and them was out there fishing, been fishing all night. And he told them, said, Master, we toiled all night long, and we caught nothing. And they said, well, he said, I'm going to tell you what to do. What you saying don't make sense. But at your word, even though it don't make sense to us, we're going to cast our net on the other side. Didn't make sense. But they tell me when they cast their net on the other side, they had so many fish until the nets broke. Sometimes what God tells us to do doesn't make sense, but I know God is able to see us through. Can you imagine here? As I closed, here was a man that laid at the pool for 38 years. And he said that every time I get ready to step in, somebody step in before me. Just don't make sense, but I can't make it. Jesus said, look, man, I didn't ask you who stepped in before. I didn't ask you for these excuses. I simply said, do you want to be made whole?
Yes.
Just take up your bed and walk. Now, can you imagine Jesus? Did any other that? Jesus, the bright as the morning star. Jesus, the hope of glory.
Yes.
Jesus, my friend when I'm friendless. Jesus, my water when I'm thirsty. Bread when I'm hungry. I heard Jesus heard about his friend Lazarus had died.
Yes.
But when he heard that Lazarus had died, he tarried 3 days longer. When up in here, our brother would not have died. If I heard that my friend was sick and he needed me, I would go right away. It didn't make sense that he knew his friend that he loved was sick and didn't go right away. And Jesus simply said to her, said, don't you know that you will sin in the resurrection? And she said, yes, I know that I'll sin in the resurrection. Didn't make sense. But he said, all I want you to do is show me where you laid him at. And he said, girl, I want you to know that I am the resurrection.
Amen.
And they saw Jesus where he laid at. And Jesus put the folk that was with him, he said, y'all step back. It didn't make sense, but he said, step back. And Jesus stepped up to the graveyard, the tomb where he was at, and he prayed, said, Lord, not for me, but for them that stand around.
All right.
Whoa! Want you to raise him up. And all he said was, Lazarus, come forth. And Lazarus had been laying in the grave, and they smelled the sin. But he got up, jumped up 3 or 4 flights of stairs, and all Jesus said was, loose the man and let him go. It didn't make sense. What's going on in our world, it don't make sense.
No.
But I came to tell you the God we serve is able to make a way out of no way. It may not seem sense to you, but I'm so glad that I know it for myself. I know he walks with me, talks with me, tell me that I belong. And woo! The joy we share as we tarry there. Sometimes what God does doesn't make sense to us. Those of you out there listening to me, all of this pandemic going on, it don't make sense to you. But God has a way of taking care of things. We don't understand it. We don't recognize it. But I came to tell you today that God does make sense, even when we don't think he does. All you got to do is trust him. All you got to do is depend on it. All you got to do is lean on it. When God doesn't make sense. I know what it feels like when we think that God doesn't make sense. Yes, I've been through some hard times. I've been through some rough times. Others was doing well and looked like I couldn't make it. Others was having nice suits and I didn't have none. I didn't understand it, but I can tell you today that that same God that picked me up, that turned me around, that same God, woo, is right here today. And he'll make sense when you think not. Thank God for his goodness. When God doesn't make sense, it seems like all hope is lost. But I came to tell you, God does make sense. You will understand it by and by.
Amen.
Amen. Certainly we're grateful for you again today on this first Sunday in May. And I trust and pray. I mentioned this on last week. I need all my members to call. You know what I'm trying to do, call me. And I'll give you all the information that you need. And I'll tell you why. Our own Elder Fields reached out to you and to let you know I need all your up-to-date information. Give me your cell number. I try to send out a little something every once in a while to let you know I love you. I'm concerned about you. I want to know how things are going on with you. And I trust and pray that you would also, as I say, keep the Jones family lifted up in special prayer.
Amen.
Keep the Stewart family
Amen.
lifted up in special prayer. And I'm here to report victory over sickness. Our own Sister Wheeler, I told you to keep them lifted up. She's at home. They've been to the hospital. They did some tests and found out it wasn't what they thought it was. I keep telling you every Sunday, there's no secret what God can do. So I would that all you members to please call me, and I'll discuss it with you. As I said, I'm not getting on Facebook begging, talking about if I can't operate, if you don't send nothing in, those of you in Facebook land. If I had to depend on that, I might as well close the doors now. But our members have done a tremendous job.
Amen.
I thank God for every member, one by one. Whether it's little or much, I'm grateful for you. And also, today is the first Sunday, and I know that you're not able to be here, but we want to do it symbolically. I have about 3 here with me. I want you to come and you can come close enough to throw your mask on. I have Brother Tim, he's faithful. He be here every Sunday. He just didn't bring my donuts this morning, but he's been faithful. You can hand this to Brother Joe and Brother Anthony. Oh, bless the Lord. Jesus simply said these words: as often as you do this, you do show forth the Lord's death and suffering till he come again. All of you that may have it at home, but all of you that are here with me, take, eat the body of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Then after the same manner, he took the cup. This cup represents his blood in the New Testament. Drink ye all of it. And afterward, the Bible says, after the supper, they sang a song. And they went out. God bless you. May heaven smile on you. And I'll see you on next week.
Amen.
Jesus.